She sells spell snares by the seashore. Kira.
Turns out bad Fatal Push is still kind of good. Meia?
It's Lorwyn time!
Oh my god, I've been looking so forward to this. It's going to be so good. All the cards look awesome.
Oh my goodness. Not to like show my age as someone who is like relatively new to Magic, but similar to like Tarkir Dragonstorm, this is my first time going to Lorwyn.
Me too.
And so like oh boy.
I have such anemoia about like Lorwyn as a plane, and like I've done the lore deep dives, I've done it all, but I haven't actually I wasn't there for the Lorwyn set because it was before even my time, which shows you how, you know, tennis balls on the Walker sort of era Magic it is.
Yeah. Absolutely. I have been like from the moment that we got art, from the moment that we got the first like preview of like the Bitter Blossom like reprint as like the special guest, you know, chase card.
The Evoke Elementals, the full art versions.
I don't like, I think Edge of Eternity's had me really excited as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, there's something about Lorwyn, and I think it's because we're going back, and it is kind of that nostalgia factor. I think because there's so much love and there's such iconic Magic art and iconic Magic cards that come from the Lorwyn, Shadowmoor, Morningtide, Eventide era that just... This is also, I will say, this is also like... Do you remember, like, very briefly where, like, Hasbro was like, we need to, like, make Magic for girls, you know, like K-pop Demon Hunters. And it was like, no. All you need to do is take us back to Lorwyn.
Uh-huh.
That's literally, like Bloomborough, like, should show that. Like, a lot of girlies that I know were, like, really loved Edge of Eternities as well. And now we've got Lorwyn Eclipse. Like, that's all you need. I don't need, you know, what they were, like, trying to do, like, we need to do, like romantasy. I was like, no. Give me crazy Evoke Elementals, and I'll be happy.
Give me crazy Evoke Elementals and the most evil fairies.
Yeah, that's literally it. It's so easy. It's so free.
It's so free.
Well, so today, this is being recorded. Lorwyn is coming. Pre-release is this week, so we have to do our usual peering into the future of what we think is going to be kind of playable. And now that we have expanded beyond just Standard, we are largely focusing on Standard because that is kind of where our deepest passions lie. But we're also focusing on Highlander and Modern. And so just playable cards that are good, like all of that is going to be important.
It turns out cards that are playable in Highlander and Modern are often powerful enough to also see play in Standard.
It's true. And the power level of Standard has increased. And we've said this a million times. The power level of Standard has really increased over the last year.
Well and truly.
Especially looking at Lorwyn. Sheesh.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be really, really good. Well, look, I think we should start with Spell Snare.
Yes.
I think we should start with something a little bit obvious.
An easy entry point. Spell Snare is 1 blue for an instant, which is counter target spell with mana value 2. This card's insane.
This card is so good.
For those of you who are like a little bit unfamiliar with like the Spell Snare gameplay, this card is format warping.
Yeah.
Because you always trade up on mana with it. Yes. It is just so incredibly powerful, and especially in a format that's so efficient and so 2-drop reliant. Like, this gets Badgermole Carb, this gets Artist Talent, amongst other things. Like, it gets Ancestral Recall. It hits so many like good and powerful things. This card is crazy. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. It's messed up.
It's crazy. It's messed up. You should be playing 4 of them, like at least in your sideboard. Like this should be, if not maybe 2 in your main deck, 2 in your side. Like you should be running, if you're playing blue, you should probably be running some number of almost 4 of these across your 75.
Yeah, and like the number will fluctuate week to week because like we said, Spell Snare is a metagame warping card. Yeah. So, you know, one week we will see 4 Spell Snare. And then the next week we'll see 4 spell snare and then no 2-drops in other people's decks. And then we'll see 2 spell snare and then the 2-drops will go up. And, you know, it's the classic, like, will they, won't they cycle. But it is, this card is incredibly powerful. As soon as it comes out, buy 4. This is not financial advice, but this card is insane and you should own 4 copies of it.
It is just a good staple card.
Yeah.
Like every blue deck in Highlander, for the most part, plays Spell Snare.
Every control deck for sure.
There's always something to hit for 2 mana.
two mana, very, very powerful. It's like 2 1-drops.
Well, especially if it's Badgermole Cub, right?
Yeah, well and truly,
You're
right?
really hitting like 2.5 cards with that. Spell Snare is just good, and you touched on a really important point, which is trading up on mana. Your 1 mana instant is trading for a 2 mana card. And so you are up on the mana exchange because you expended less mana to deal with a threat that costs more.
It is also one of the most effective tools for buying back tempo in the early game. So if you're on the draw and your opponent goes like tap land turn 1, you go, okay, island pass, and they tap out for a 2-drop and you get to spell snare it on 1 and play a 2-drop on 2, you have won the game.
Time Walk. This is a Time Walk.
1 mana Time Walk. That's
This is
pretty good.
Guys, this is a 1 mana Time Walk. This is awesome.
Easy as bake into a pie.
Well, and what's really good is, you know, and you touched on this just a moment ago as well, is it is hitting the really consequential combo pieces in the other, like, tier 1 decks. It hits Artist Talent for your Is It Looting decks. It's going to hit Sokka for the, like, Is It Lessons deck. It's going to hit Badgermole Cub in your Simic Roar deck. It can hit Jackal in the Simic Aggro decks. Like, it is such a good card that really throws off. If you just categorically reserved your 4 spell snares for their 4 artist talent, you'd probably be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, probably. And it's one of those cards where it is also just extraordinarily well positioned right now.
Yeah.
Because
there's always 2 mana spells.
There are a bunch of 2 mana spells, but there's also a glut of particularly powerful ones right now. Like, you know, Badgermole Cub and Artist Talent are the easy answers, but also there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Even getting like a No More Lice with this is pretty good.
Well, and also thinking about cards in Lorwyn, this hits Bitterbloom Bearer.
It does.
So, like, there's utility for things that are coming in this set that we're talking about as well, which is really important.
Yep. Yeah. TLDR, this card's good by 4.
This card is so good.
This is not financial advice.
This is not financial. Like, it's such a good card. And this segues really easily. Let's talk about Bitterbloom Bearer.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh, they put Bitter Blossom on a creature.
They sure did.
So let me see if I can remember this. Bitterbloom Bearer, black, flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 black and blue fairy rogue creature token with flying.
I think it's just black.
Is it just black?
It also has flash.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it has flash, but I'm not sure.
And there is one other pseudo keyword on that card that is very important, and that is fairy.
Typo.
There's a lot of kindred stuff in this set, and it's very cool.
Surprise.
I'm not sure how powerful it's going to be broadly, but it's pretty cool. Cavern of Souls is sure in this format.
It is indeed. Damn.
This is not financial advice. Cavern of Souls also a card maybe worth picking up if you're going to play the Typal decks.
Well, because you know it's great if your Cavern of Souls name's Fairy. Your Spell Snare doesn't.
Yep, it's true.
Spell Snare doesn't work anymore, even though we just spent 5 minutes talking about how great Spell Snare is. No, Cavern really powerful in a format where there's a lot of like kindred decks and there's a lot of like typal archetypes. Yeah. This card also just, you wrote this card busto. Would you care to elaborate?
I will say that I am drawing off my knowledge of the card Bitter Blossom from many moons ago, and Magic has come a long way, and this is definitely a power crept version of this card. And it is worth noting this is a 2 mana 1/1. Dies to all the things, and there's no window where you like flash this in on upkeep and get the trigger straight away. You have to do it in your opponent's end step and give them a chance to, you know, hit it with a shock. But if this resolves, this is the easiest 2-for-1 of your life. It's so easy, and especially in the decks that want to play it, because the place where I can see this is something like the Dimir Kaito decks, where you can, you flash it in on end step like you would with like a Fairy Mastermind or something like that. And then on turn 3, you create a 1/1, you attack with it, and you put a Kaito in play. And that's just pretty good. It's also a great way to break through board stalls. It's one of the most effective chump blocking cards ever because it just spits out a chump blocker every turn. This card is nonsense with Enduring Curiosity. There are just so many good synergy points with this card that it would be hard to imagine it being bad. I will say though, double black on turn 2 is really hard for Dimir.
You read my mind. I was like in my head, like putting my little hand up, being like, I want to ask you, like, so I'll just ask it. Do you think, and you already said yes, the double color pip is restrictive? Because this is the same reason why outright counterspell in Highlander is not often regarded as a very, very good card, because cards that have double color pip requirements can be quite difficult in multicolor decks.
It remains to be seen. I'm on the optimistic side of this because Dimir has Shock, Verge, Multiversal Passage. And, like, optionally also the
Undercity Sewers,
the
like the
Undercity
Surveil.
Sewers.
Yeah.
Like, some lists are playing one of. Your mana base is pretty good right now. And, yeah, there are definitely going to be turn cycles where, like, you play a turn 1 Spyglass Siren and you can't play a turn 2 Blade of Blossom Bearer. But I think this card is also powerful enough in the late game that it's not strictly necessary. Like, this card I think would be powerful is still powerful as a top deck, which is part of what you want out of a mid-range deck, right?
Well, and definitely, like, we have mentioned this before, that every color pair is about to be fine.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a full cycle of Shocks, a full cycle of Verges, and Multiversal Passage. Like, everything's going to be fine.
And Surveil lands.
And Surveil lands. Like, your wildest dreams can come true in your color pairings now.
The mana bases are insanely good, which is awesome. I'm all for this.
Yeah, which is really good. So, but yeah, I think, there are going to be moments where, depending on exactly what combination of, I almost said fetch shock. This is not modern. Like shock verge you have, there's a world in which you don't have your double black pip requirement, which I think could put you in an awkward spot. But I think what's really good for Bitterbloom Bear is that it has flash, because it allows you to still hold up like your own spell snare. It still allows you to hold up negate or any other interaction, and then if your opponent does nothing, then you can flash in the fairy.
Yeah, I think this card is just good. I don't know how restrictive the double black is going to be. My intuition is not very. I think there are like enough sequences of draws and enough powerful dual lands that I think it is going to be relatively easy to go like Spyglass Siren on 1, Bitter Blossom Bear on turn 2, Kaito on turn 3, and then Enduring Curiosity on turn 4 if you want to be really magical Christmas land.
You're saying the words Jennifer Rose would love to hear.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah, if the mana is not restrictive, this card is just going to be good.
Yeah. So like speaking of cards that have also been previously printed on other like abilities that have been printed on other cards before, I want to talk about, and this is not necessarily like, I will say, like, side note, this is not really a playable standard card. I don't even think it's constructed playable, really. I just think in terms of the stats and what it does, this card is insane. And that is going to be Champions of the Perfect, which is 3 and a green. Is an elf warrior. As an additional cost to cast this spell, behold an elf and exile it. Exile an elf you control or an elf card from your hand. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand, and it's a 6/6. Yes, it's a 4-mana 6/6, but that you have to like kind of almost edict something to get it. That's still insane, I think. And it has Beast Whisperer text on it, which is whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Messed up.
Yeah, I could definitely see this.
Messed up.
I could definitely see this being good in something like the Simic Ouroboros deck, where, like, as a way to close out games against either control or in the mirror, just, behold a Llanowar Elves and then, like, cast a Jackal and a Badgermole Cub and all of a sudden you have just refueled, you've drawn 2 cards. It's also like reasonable to expect this to come out on turn 3 between Llanowar Elves and Bajamol Cub. This card just might be good. It sure is a 4-mana 6/6. I don't know if that's good enough in Standard anymore, but it's like this card has very high upside, but its downside is that it is stone cold uncastable.
Yeah, can we just really quickly revisit the phrase a 4-mana 6/6 is unplayable in Standard? Can we just sit with that for a second?
I think that's been true for a while.
That's wild. Because it's also like, again, I don't necessarily think this is Standard playable. It's certainly not Modern playable. I do think this is your, Lathril Commander deck, Busto Elf. This is your...
It might also be like your 15th Glimpse of Nature effect in Highlander.
Something to that effect for sure. I don't see it being really a constructed card. I really see it largely around Highlander.
You can natural order
Commander. Too many formats. What?
You can natural order for it.
Sure.
Or Nature's Rhythm for it.
I think more than anything else, just looking at it on its face, a 4-mana 6/6 just seems so unbelievably pushed. To then also have other lines of text on it. The most important line of text being whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card, which is a very wonderful ability in green. And obviously, it's sandwiched in between, conditional, you'll access link, don't worry, you'll get it back. And you'll draw a card every time you cast a creature spell. I think this card is just a little bit crazy.
Yeah. I think a dedicated Elves deck would have to exist for this to be good.
Yeah.
But we've seen some pretty powerful Elves in this set, so it remains to be seen.
Yeah. Well, that's a couple from me. What are you looking at over there?
I'll start with the easy one.
Okay.
They're reprinting Shocklands.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, like a brief aside, this is obviously very good. It's going to make the mana bases on a bunch of decks really good. I think we're likely to see more 4-color mana bases if they can support it. This is good for Standard. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, I mean, getting getting the rest of the cycle of shocks is obviously good. It means that there are, 2-color decks that don't need to play as many multiversal passages anymore. But still, a shock is a shock by any other name, whether it's, only one land type or 2.
Yeah, I think this kicks Starting Town out of the format, basically.
Yes, Starting Town, I think, is on very thin ice. Maybe if you're trying to do some crazy 5-color shenanigans.
Maybe.
But honestly,
5-color elementals, let's go.
But between all of your shocks, between all of your verges, the incidental surveil land and multiversal passage, I don't think you really need Starting Town anymore. And also, the fact that there's no, after your first, second, and third turn, there is no ability for Starting Town to enter untapped anymore. And I think that is something that can be really important in the late game. Like, if you need that push, if you need that, you're in a more mid-rangey game, you get to turn 6, and what you need is an untapped land, drawing a Starting Town is the worst thing ever.
Yeah. I will say Shocklands do have diminishing returns. First one's really good, but having to pay the 4th or the 6th life for untapped lands can be really tricky. It'll be interesting to see where that balance evens out to. But yeah, Shocklands back, yay!
Yay! We love having Shocklands. I'm excited. I want to know if there's because there's now open color combinations. Like Jeskai's been really strong, but what about Jund? What about Jund?
You're gonna Jund them, Kira?
Because we're getting Blood Crypt and we're getting Overgrown Tomb. I'm really excited.
We're gonna be able to Jund Gobbos people. That'll be so good. I do love a Gobbo deck.
It'd be really, really good. Well, so if yay, okay, Shocklands.
Yay, Shocklands.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
After we've been, but also after I also have been complaining so much about mana bases in Standard being bad, we're just sitting here going, oh my god, yay, Shocklands. But yay, this is very, very good. Hooray!
Hooray!
What else do you wanna talk about?
I'm gonna do a fun one next.
Okay.
This card is, I don't know how to say it. It's Kinscaya Sentry. It is 1 and a white for a creature Kithkin Soldier. It has first strike and lifelink and is a 2/2. And it says, whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control.
Oh my god.
This card is... I'm putting the, like, Meia speculative special asterisk stuff
Sure.
here.
This is the Vinwixed card.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's a slightly more Vinwixty card coming later,
Okay.
but we'll worry about that later. This card is... There is not currently a home for it.
Yeah.
There is no, like, obvious place that this slots into, aside from, like, maybe the Selesnya Landfall deck. But this effect is extraordinarily powerful. It's a 2-mana 2/2. It has lifelink, which is always good incidental text. And it has First Strike, which means it is sort of hard to block, especially if you can make it more powerful with, like, an Innkeeper's Talent or something like that. And the ability to, like, double down and put another... Because if you, like, play a 1-drop creature and a 2-drop creature, and then this on turn 2, you can attack with 2 things, put a 2-drop into play a land, and play your 3-drop. It's an incredibly powerful aggressive threat. The fact that it has lifelink probably breaks a lot of aggro mirrors. I think this card is very, very scary in an aggro mirror against something like mono red, where the lifelink matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The downside on this card is huge, though. It sure is a 2-mana 2/2. It dies to every removal spell in the format, and as we've kind of seen with the veritable disappearance of the, like, leyline aggro decks, there is a lot of shock-type cards running around between the, the Is It Lessons deck and the Is It Looting deck, and just a bunch of ways to interact with low-toughness creatures. But if the format evolves into something that is more Kindred-focused and more, like, board stall-y, I think this card could be very, very powerful. I would come back to this card post-rotation.
Sure. I think that's very fair. It's definitely a powerful ability. Just getting to flop something from your hand onto the battlefield for free, always good.
And attacking.
Yeah. Not paying for your, creature spells, great.
Yeah.
Love,
I like not paying
love
for my
that.
creature spells.
Love that. That's awesome. Something is whispering in my ear, being like, Delny, Arabella, red-white aggro.
Oh, sure.
And
yeah, for
that's
sure.
messed up.
Yeah, that seems pretty crazy.
Yeah. Because, okay, come into my mind palace with me.
I'm here.
Enter the mind palace with me.
Oh my goodness, there's so much snow and candy canes.
Sorry, I haven't cleaned up from Christmas. Arabella, Delny, Novice Inspector, Dollmaker's Shop.
Seems pretty good.
Because Dollmaker's Shop has that really awesome one side of the room is creatures you control have base power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control.
Yeah.
It is magical. I understand. The Mind Palace is magical Christmas land, which is why there's snow and candy canes in there.
You can play Wally is cool. That card's pretty good with Donnie.
It's pretty good. I'm just saying. Also with voice, like all of these things plus voice of victory.
Yeah.
You know what? The more that I'm saying this, the more this is just a Highlander deck. This is just an aggressive red-white Highlander deck.
Yep. Oh my god, you're so right.
Because imagine how much better this is.
You just play Voice of Victory, like you're attacking with this and Voice of Victory onto like 4, like just those 2 creatures, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to put a 4-drop into play tapped and attacking.
Is Solitude 4 or 5?
Solitude's 5.
Dang it! We were so close to putting a Solitude into play for free.
Yeah.
I think it's got legs.
You put a Shieldred in play. Not in Standard, but
no, not anymore. Thank God. Yeah, no, interesting. I'm gonna have to talk to Billinghurst about this. I think this can go in a Mardu. I think this could go in a Mardu deck.
I think this card, the downside on this card makes it probably not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if the format evolves in such a way that this card isn't just immediately getting pushed off the table, then if it sticks around, it's very powerful.
All right. Put a pin in that. That's nice. I like that. What's next? What else you got for us?
Speaking of pushing.
Oh, is this your Fatal Push?
Fatal Push analogous card?
Yes.
Yes. So the card we're talking about is Requiting Hex. It is 1 black for an instant, and it says, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may blight 1. It says, destroy target creature with mana value 2 or less. If the spell's additional cost was paid, you gain 2 life.
Okay.
This card is just better stab, I think.
Is it instant speed?
Yep.
Oh, then yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, stab. Like,
I think this card will just go in the cut down slot. It will go in the stab slot. I don't necessarily think it's the most crazy powerful thing in the world, but it's just a good 1-mana removal spell in a field where there are lots of cheap creatures. This kills a Grand, this kills a Badgermole Cub, you could push the elf on turn 1. There are a lot of like decent applications for this card. This card's never going to be that bad.
This is really good. It feels like we're getting a lot of really good mitigation in this set that we haven't really had on rate. You know, with Llanowar Elves and Grand kind of dominating because we haven't had something like Cut Down because it rotated. You know, these decks have kind of spiraled out of control and they've gotten really, really powerful because we haven't had a lot of mitigation either in the form of, you know, Requiting Hex, Fatal Push, or like Spell Snare, like to kind of the things that, you know, Cut Down would have normally hit haven't been subject to very good removal these days. So, yeah. I feel like I enjoy that it says you may blight one. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think you're blighting one basically never.
Yeah. I would believe that.
I don't know, like, I'm sure there is a situation where the life gain is more powerful than, like, 1 power and toughness on specific board states, and it's a nice little bit of upside, but I think if the card didn't have that text, it would still be fine. And for what it's worth, I think this card is Highlander playable. I think this is the, like, 5th playable black remove spell. Like, it's like Fatal Push, Dismember, Murderous Cut, this card.
Sure.
Not much else to say about this card. It's just generally good. It's, yeah, I'm going to be picking up 4. I expect to buy them for 20 cents each.
Fingers crossed.
It's a common.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next? Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Speaking of Meia Stonks going up. This one is my very asterisk.
This is your Vinwix pick?
This is my Vinwix pick.
Okay.
It is Flitterwing Nuisance. It is 1 blue mana for a creature, fairy rogue, with flying. It is a 2/2, but it enters with a -1/-1 counter on it.
Yep.
And for 2 and a blue, you may remove a counter from this creature. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker this turn, draw a card.
Okay.
I
convince me.
I think finally we may be able to usurp Spyglass Siren.
Sure.
That's where I can see this. I can see this in specifically the Dimir mid-range deck as an additional, like, copies 5 and 6 of Enduring Curiosity, and also a slightly better upside 1 mana 1/1 flyer that puts a Kaito into play. Is it better than Spyglass Siren? I don't know. Because I look at Spyglass Siren and I think this card is stone cold unplayable. And then it's a 4 of in the best deck in every standard format. And I'm like, well, I guess. And I think this is better. I think the fact that it has a -1/-1 counter on it is an upside, not a downside, considering we've just got a bunch of counter synergy cards. I think the fact that for 3 mana you can draw a couple of cards is really important. I think having additional copies of Enduring Curiosity is really important in the mirror. This card strikes me as maybe good enough.
Cool. Because, like, my counter to this is Sleep Cursed Fae from Wilds of Eldraine, which was, like, a 1-mana fairy, but it entered with, like, 3 stun counters on it.
That card doesn't put Kaito into play.
This is true. This is true. Okay. Because, like, I'm sitting here and I value the map token very highly from Spyglass Siren.
Sure.
I think there are moments where you want to make sure you can put the land into your hand or that the card that you're about to draw is what you want while putting a counter on something else.
Card selection is definitely very powerful, and maybe I'm underrating how good that is, but I think the upside on this card is good enough.
Yeah.
The fact that you pay 3 and get an Enduring Curiosity and it becomes 2/2 as opposed to a 1/1 is, like, maybe fine. You are right, it is worse with Kaito, right? It is worse because you don't leave a map behind. I don't know how impactful that is. I hope we can usurp that little
You don't like the Siren Pirate?
I have strong negative opinions about the Siren Pirate. Also, I think this is pretty cool in a Bitter Blossom Bearer deck.
Yeah. I think especially in a typal deck, because like we still have Spell Stutter from Wilds of Eldraine, which is a counterspell that cares about the number of fairies that you control.
That card's busted.
So, that card is about to get quite a lot better if you're playing specifically a fairy typal deck.
I did not realize they put that in Wilds.
Mhm.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
That's so scary. I'm glad that's only going to be around for one rotation cycle.
There is also a removal spell that could be worth looking at, which is Fairy Fencing, which deals like something gets neg X equal to the number of fairies you control. And that could also end up being playable strictly in like a fairy typal deck if you're pooping out fairies every turn.
How expensive is it?
Scryfall can tell us.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Mm-hmm. It sure can.
Upon reviewing the tapes, I was wrong about this card. I'll put it up on screen.
It's still pretty okay, right? It's a black instant, give something -3/-3. You can scale it up if you need to.
Mhm.
Like if you control a fairy, this gets pretty big pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not as good as I said it was, but it's not as bad as I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. Well, we're actually kind of running out of time, and we've still got more cards to talk about.
More cards. Let's power through. Let's make it happen.
Okay. Last but certainly not least, we have to talk about the Goblino.
The Goblino?
This is the Goblino.
Senor Goblin.
This is Hexing Squelcher.
You vexing shusha?
This is Hexing Squelcher.
Schmexing
Schmexing Hexing Squelcher is 1 in a red. It is a goblin sorcerer. This spell can't be countered. Sorry, Spell Snare. You don't work here. Ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life. This is almost a better Spider Punk.
That is many lines of text.
It's 4 lines of text. It's a 2/2. It's 4 lines of text. It's better than a Spider Punk because Spider Punk is legendary, so you can only play 1 at a time. You can stack Hexing Squelcher abilities, which is disgusting. You just thought of that, didn't you? Yep. Yeah.
I've tested against this card in Highlander, and it's really good.
Where
but
it's
that
only a
means
1 of.
I've never seen 2 of them in play at once, and I don't want to.
This is not financial advice. I'm buying 4 of these. Without question.
It is a very you card,
It's
to be fair.
so good. It's such a good card. Every line of text on this card is good. All of them. They're every single line is good.
Yeah, look, it slots into mono red, right? In terms of standard playable decks, I think this will slot right into mono red.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be in a Goblins deck if there is a Goblins deck.
Mhm.
I'm not sure this has a compelling place elsewhere, but on its face, this card is just extraordinarily powerful.
It's going to shock your opponent.
Yep.
If they want to deal with it, it's going to shock them.
Mhm.
Unless they're doing a split up type destroy all creatures effect.
Yeah.
But
This card's just really scary. It just kills people.
if this card is good as a 1 of, imagine how good it is as a 4 of. That's all I'm saying. Hi.
Hi.
For those, I'm just going to admit it. The SD card got full in the middle of this. We lost a bunch of stuff, so we're revisiting a few things. We're talking about Hexing Squelcher.
Card's good!
Card's really, really good.
And it's good with my Scornful Striker.
It's good with May, Scornful Striker. Yeah, I watched the last 5 seconds and that was about it, so we're kind of muddling through a little bit.
Yeah, the key hits was really good in multiples.
Really good in multiples.
The most powerful version of this effect we've seen. It's Power Crept Vexing Shusha from Shadowmoor.
Yes.
This card is generally really good. It'll slot right into mono red. Card scary, card good.
That's what what's it? And that's what you missed on Glee. This set is insane.
Yep.
This set looks really, really good. I'm really excited. by the time that this is coming out, pre-release weekend will have already happened. Hopefully you guys had a very good time at your LGS playing Lorwyn pre-released. And for our constructed friends, hope you figured out what cards you want. Hope you're going to pick them up soon. I'm getting 4 spell snares. I'm going to get 4 hexing squelchers, schmexing squelchers, schmexing squelchers. Yeah.
For requiting hex.
For requiting hex. I'm probably going to get a set of all of the evoke elementals.
Sure.
They fixed them this time around, so you can't abuse them in the same way.
I want my broken cards.
Boo, I want them to make grief and take 4 years to ban it.
Yes.
No, it was 2 years. It wasn't that long, but they should have done it sooner.
Not even that good.
Grief scam. Could you imagine now there's because what are they called? Emptiness? Emptiness scam.
I mean, kind of. Empty scam?
Empty scam.
Head empty scam?
It's just me. That's just me sitting down to play Highlander's head empty scam.
Little bit. But Highlander's hard.
Highlander is so hard. But this set looks fantastic. I think, as I said earlier, I think what was missing was a lot of mitigation, and I think we're getting a lot of those really good mitigating cards with Unrequited Hex, and we're going to get Spell Snare back. We're going to be able to kind of balance the playing field out a little bit more against the low mana, big, high impact effect cards. We're going to be able to deal with Llanowar Elves, Grand, Badger Mole, Cub. All of those kind of low to the ground cards are going to be much easier to deal with now. We've got the tools. I'm ready. And with all that said, that's all we have for you today. New episodes release on Mondays at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can keep track of all of our releases at Raise MTG on both Instagram and Blue Sky. You can find Meia on the same platforms at Meia MTG and myself at Kira Bobira. A huge thank you to the Hen House Recording Studios for the ongoing use of their space. And until next time, remember, finally, a place where the ingredients are as potent as my magics.